Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. This is Lynn and today I'm showing you this card. I'm using the new Hugs Shadow Word Meraki Paradise and also the totally awesome stamp set that was released previously. So first of all, I am going to make a really simple card, but therefore I'm using two images from the totally awesome stamp set. So first of all, I have this mushroom and I'm also creating a mask because the fox that I'm using is going to slightly overlap this mushroom. So I have here a piece of full stick post-it notes and I'm just fussy cutting this out to add onto the mushroom. And then I can take the other image and stamp it out as well. I fiddled already before starting on the recording with the stamps, that's why I have two mini misties with each stamp in there, so that I could just quickly continue with this stamping. So now when I will remove the mask, you will see that the mushroom isn't overlapping with the fox, that the fox is actually behind it, or the tail of the fox. So now that this is stamped out, I can start coloring. For the coloring today, I'm using my Copic markers, and since there are only a few images, this isn't a really long video, but I'm starting with the mushroom with the reds, and then I will work my way to the fox. The way I color with my Copic markers is that I start with the darkest and work my way onto the lightest. Now there are several ways to Copic color and this is only one of them. So maybe you prefer starting with the base coat of the lightest and then going from darkest to lightest and returning back and forth. Whatever tickles your fancy, whatever you like more, that's the way to go as long as you get the results that you want and as long as you're having fun. That's the most important part. Me personally, I prefer starting with the darkest and working my way to the lightest. I'm using the Transotype Perfect Coloring Paper, and what I learned from this paper is that you can add as many layers as you want to, but to get the result that I want to, I need at least 2 layers of Copic coloring. So that's what I'm doing most of the time. Sometimes I need even more and then I just add them. This paper allows me to add lots of layers without having the risk of bleeding of my markers outside the lines, and that's something that I really like. This also allows me to really play around with the markers. If a blend isn't going like I wanted it to, I can just go over it with another marker without ruining it. For the fox as well as the mushroom, maybe you already saw it, I am trying to get my light source to come from the left, and so I have a few shadows on the right. Now, as you can see here, for the fox I'm using some flicking. You can decide completely how you want to get your blend going. Now, flicking is one of the methods. You can just also go back and forth a bit more. You can do tip to tip. And these markers work together. I use them all the time together. But just to have that furry feel as well, I decided to go with the flicking to get some sort of a fur going on. And this is only the first layer, so I will go back over everything for a second time as well. And then it's also the time for me to expand maybe a bit more if I want to with the markers, because now I can see after the first layer that I have no or a lot of wiggle room, and so I adjust to that. So I'm slowly building this fox. I'm not rushing anything. If I don't like the blend, then I will keep going back and forth. Now, as I said, this marker combination works, so I don't need to do that as often. But I'm just flicking my way all over this fox to get it completely colored in. And then I just need to add all those lighter areas. Therefore, I will use E53, E51 and E50. And I'm trying to have my shadows at the same side again. And once that's done, the hardest part of this card is already over. So the coloring was the biggest part, and then it's just adding the hugs, maybe some accessories, and then this card is already finished. It's crazy fast. So I have these hugs. It's from the Hugs Shadow Word Meraki Paradise, which are newly released in April, and I just love them. In previous releases there was already a thanks, and this release has lots and lots more. There is no stopping, and I just love these dies because you have a really huge shadow, then a second shadow, and then this word. So for today I'm just using this word, and as you can see I laid out the stems just like they are on the hugs themselves. The fox is standing on it, and then the mushroom as well, and I just thought that this was really funny and really lovely. So for the embellishments I decided to try out these Heart Sprinkles coffee bean. These are brown ones and I just love them, and I thought with the fox and then the gold that this brown could be the right decision. Now about placement, I fiddled quite a bit to get it there where I wanted it to. You know, this is a simple card, there isn't much on there, so it's not ideal if your embellishments are taking the overhand. So I was really balancing that out. Now at this moment there were just too much hearts. I didn't know exactly where, but I liked the one in that hole of the G. So I kept it there, I replaced some, and then in the end I ended up with removing the heart that is on the belly of the fox, which is also cute, but I think it's either on the belly or in the G, and I preferred it in the G. But as you can see, just the way I'm placing everything, just by changing up the embellishment, this card can look completely different. So once I'm done with placement, I am going to adhere them using some liquid glue, and I'm using my Studio Katja embellishment wand to get all this heart in place. And then I am going to add this panel on top of a card base. Now just fixing up a bit of the coloring. And then as a final step, I am going to add a tiny bit of white onto the mushroom. But because that is liquid, I'm first adding this panel so that I cannot smear that or anything like that. So for the mushroom, I'm using the NUVO Crystal Drops Simply White. And well, it's not always as handy to get in a shaped area, but it works, and when it dries it's that glossy idea that you get, and it's on top of it because there is a bit of dimension, and that's something that I really like. So after moving it around with a needle, this card is completely finished. So it's a short video for today, but I hope that it was a lovely one and that you like the end result of this card. I want to thank you so much for stopping by on the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you subscribe to our channel you will never miss a video of the design team ever again. I hope that you have a wonderful day left, and I will be back soon with some new crafty inspiration. Bye!